Thank everybody for coming today. It means a lot to our family to see so many people wanting to share in celebrating and commemorating Paul's life. A very special thank you to Colin for your support and assistance. Also a huge thank you to all our friends for the words of comfort and all the beautiful flowers, food and baking. Paul was a very special brother, father and uncle. I feel very lucky to have had him in our lives. Paul adored Alex, whom he referred to as young Bin, the son of Bin Laden, whom Paul closely resembled. He would proudly tell people he was a dad. He wasn't your traditional father, but he loved Alex very much in his own special way. Thank you, Janet, for always being there for Alex and your support to our family. It's lovely having you here today. He was funny and frustrating, witty and wild, kind and crazy, generous and giving. I'm sure there are many of you here today who have been recipients of Paul's generosity, and some of you are probably still owed some spuds or fish. For someone that possessed so little, he had so much to give away. Last week, he visited a friend who recently had a family bereavement. He texted me to say he was off to drop off some spuds and chops to his mate. He was giving away his potatoes quicker than he could dig them. And when Mum inquired how the friend's relative died, he said, smoked like the Ernst Law. Paul always lived for the day and never worried about tomorrow. He never considered that he could save some potatoes for the winter. Paul's intelligence and wit was extraordinary. He could always bring a smile to your face. Sadly, I deleted my mailbox on my phone last month. There was literally hundreds of texts from Paul. I found one from a couple of weeks ago after a hard day in the sun on the chainsaw that said, caught more rays today than Steve Irwin. It's been really special over the last few days to speak to Paul's friends and realise how many people had been recipients of those hilarious texts. I think Paul should have been born with an interpreter. He talked in fast forward, chainsawed at full throttle, ate like a hungry hyena and drove like Scott Dixon and drank like a thirsty lizard. You could always gauge how many beers Paul had consumed by the number of vowels in his text. He'd refer to the beer as Goldilocks. That was code for 3 beers, and he was most likely to have a second Goldilocks. Growing up on the farm with Paul was fraught with danger. He'd mastered 360 spins as soon as his feet could touch the pedals and managed to crash every vehicle we owned, and often spectacular style. We loved to get our townie mates or cousins out and show them our driving skills. I remember the time we broke the axle on the old Humber Hawk on the hill. We were going flat out over the gorse bushes and a collapsed coal mine got in our way and brought us to a grinding halt. We had a load of kids on the back, which made it twice as exciting. And he even managed to run over Dad's dog while feeding out hay. Not lucky. We had a game of chicken we used to play. We would park the tractor down at the creek and you had to hold on for dear life to the hay clamp while one of us was at the controls and flung it up and down as fast as possible into the creek. You didn't know about that one, Mum. Another one you probably didn't know about was we had a great sport of setting fire to the dead sheep hole. We'd wait till no one was around. We'd use petrol as an accelerant. You had to run for your life to beat the blue flames and the rats. It really is a miracle that he made it to 51. His attitude, like Yarp said, was always go hard or go home. His text to me the other day said, get another bike one day. Used to go pretty hard in the old days. My bike used to do 240k. I said, are you mad? That sounds like a death wish. He replied, pretty much, like a missile on 2 wheels. Done a burnout on last rally and blew out rear tyre as you do. Laugh out loud. Nothing was run of the mill with Paul. He was very skilled at demolishing and destroying things and not so great at building. Working a wood splitter with Paul was always a challenge. Everything was done at breakneck speed. If you weren't concentrating, a log would be hurled in your direction and inevitably it would skin your shins, or in his words, knock a bit of bark off. Paul's priorities were quite unusual. Jaap and I were married in Holland. Mum and Dad offered him a trip to Europe to attend the wedding. His response was, nah, buy me a new chainsaw instead. Some of you may be aware that Paul was placed under witness protection 4 years ago. He was relocated to Auckland and given a new identity. Paul proved to be an enormous challenge for the police. He was really easy to spot on the streets of Auckland in his camo pants, Swazi gear, and his horrible contracting cap. He referred to himself as John Doe. They tried a few names out on him without any success. Paul could only be himself, and in the end they just gave up and he came back to where he belonged. Paul's played a huge part in our lives. We will never forget him and always remember him with a smile. His last text to me on the day he died said, "In lagoon and kayak, magpie swam across and following me, dumb mutt." And I texted him back, "Careful she doesn't drown." He said, "Reckon, hop down here, no bites yet, magpie loves it." Paul died what he absolutely loved doing. Paul, we love you. You've been a very special person. We'll be in our hearts. Dad will be pleased to see you and be by his side. Farewell, Paul.